Hi, this is Andy Black. In this video we're going to talk about the online buying life cycle and why some visitors to your website are more likely to buy from you than others. Now imagine one evening my wife came to me and said, let's go to the Champagne region in France this summer as a holiday. I agree, yes, that sounds great, let's do that. What's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Uncle Google and type in some searches and start to learn about the Champagne region in France. I'm now browsing, I'm surfing the internet. We know what that means. I type in a few things and I'm just moving around. I might be sat there with a cup of coffee next to me and a pen. I'm just making a few notes or mentally making notes. I'm not ready to book a hotel or a B&B in the Champagne region in France. If you had a B&B in the Champagne region in France, now would not be a good time to show me an ad. When I'm typing in things like Champagne region France, I'm doing research, I'm browsing, I'm learning. As I learn a bit more, my search terms are going to start getting a bit more educated, indicating I've learned a bit more about the Champagne region in France. Maybe I find the different areas within the Champagne region in France that are famous for particular brands of champagne. I know nothing about champagne, I haven't even done this exercise. Initially, when someone's searching, their search terms indicate they don't know much about what they're looking for. They're not ready to buy yet. They're trying to get more information. They're trying to learn. They're trying to get themselves up this curve so that they become more educated and are able to then make a purchase later on. Now the first step is, I've sat down at the computer, I'm a browser, I'm not ready to buy it. Later on, when I get the bit between my teeth and I'm really starting to dig into this, I've become a researcher. I'm actually doing research now. If somebody starts searching for locations within the Champagne region in France, if they start looking for car hire Champagne region in France, if they start looking for places to stay, things to do, all the Champagne region in France, then we know they're doing research. They're doing this kind of research because they're thinking of coming over to visit. But if we have a B&B in the Champagne region in France, now is not the time to try and get this person to our website. They are not ready to buy yet. They're still in the information gathering mode. They're moving from being a browser to a researcher. Later on, when they've got enough information together, they may decide that they're going to go to the Champagne region of France, and then they might become a shopper. Now what they're trying to do is consider their options. If I stayed in that hotel over there, it will cost more, but it's nearer to that place that I want to see. If I stay in that cheaper B&B over there, I'm going to have to hire a car to travel to here. They're shopping. They're now trying to compare different options that they might have. When they type in B&Bs in the Champagne region of France, now could be a good time to get them. It probably is. Some search terms indicate they're a shopper. They're almost ready to buy. They're potentially still considering their options, but they've got over this hump, this information-seeking hump. People use Google to find out information. At the start, they were sat with a cup of tea and a cup of coffee next to them, and they were educating themselves. They were getting to themselves to the point where they're, yes, I'm going to go to the Champagne region of France. Now what do I do? They've now become a shopper, they're doing comparison shopping, and then hopefully they're going to become a buyer. When somebody searches for B&B Champagne region France, or B&B and then a really specific location in France, B&B near a certain attraction in the Champagne region of France, then that person is a buyer, possibly a shopper, but we want to get that person to our website if we are a B&B in the Champagne region of France. That person, instead of sitting there with a cup of coffee in their hand, is now sitting there with a phone in their hand or their credit card. They want to speak to somebody to find out about the B&B, or they want to actually book. In my mind, people getting up to this point are educating themselves. They're sitting with a cup of coffee next to them when they're on the computer at Google. People afterwards, they're no longer sitting with a cup of coffee next to them. They're sitting with a credit card or a phone in hand, ready to contact somebody. If we're to advertise on Google, our job is to advertise to the people most likely to buy from us and try and convert those people into sales as quick as we can. Those people are already coming down this hill. All we have to do is sit at the bottom and catch them. We want to catch the people already in motion, the ones flying down the hill with a credit card in their hand. Get those people onto our website, get the money from them before we try and work out how to sell to people who are still doing research. If you're going to advertise on Google, you really need to understand the difference between a buyer search term and information-seeking search terms. Think of people going through this life cycle of a browser to a researcher to a shopper to a buyer. Start with the buyers. Try and get profitable with people who are actually searching for what you sell, who have got a credit card in their hand or their phone in their hand because they want to speak to you. Hope that helps. See you next time.